Welcome to the Soul Reader. The show will be starting in approximately 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And if you're watching this show on replay, you can fast forward right past this spot and get right into the show where you will see me, Anthony Cordova, on video. So if you're in the audience live, we've got approximately 4 minutes and we're going to get into the show, and we're so happy to bringing the show back. This is the relaunch show. I think I've been gone for about 4 or 5 months now. And we know that that's because of another platform that we were on. But we are back. And when I say we, I mean me and my lovely wife / producer, Jill Cox Cordova. So again, please stand by. We have about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're going to get right into the show. See you in a few. We've got about 3 minutes to go, and we're going to get right into the show. Now, also, if you're going to be here live and you want to talk to me, actually talk directly to me, there's a couple of ways you can do that, but the easiest way to do that is through watching through my website, which is knowtobestill.com, and that's /podcast. That would be the easiest way, and you just follow the prompts, get in the show, and there'll be a button that says donate or be in the show. I'm not sure what it says now, but you'll see it, or it'll say, I think it says talk to me live. And once you see that, just click on that and follow the prompts. Now, if you just want to talk and you don't want to be seen, there will be a prompt that says, please give access to your camera and microphone. Just go ahead and say that, and then the next screen, you'll see a picture of you and there'll be a little camera emoji. You just click on that and it'll turn your camera off. So you don't have to be seen if you don't want to be. So we've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds, and we're going to get started with the show. Also, know that you can watch me on Facebook and YouTube also, and you can make comments there too. So please feel free to make comments at any time during the show, and we'll read your comments, or Jill will read your comments, and we can have a conversation that way also. So we have approximately 1 minute, and we'll get right into the show. Hello, I'm your host, Anthony Cordova, Tony C., the man about love, and welcome to Poetic People Fighting Racism. Now, I'm just trying to spread a little love every day with activism living inside me. So what in the world? What in the world can I do? Can you do? Can we do with just another online show? Let's see where we go when we know what we feel is real. Let's show how we deal with real discrimination. Let's show how we use what we have with poetry, poetry, poetry. Let's show how we live with real racism, taking our breath away while taking our lives away every day. We wake. We take steps to make us better and stronger the longer we live with poetry, poetry, poetry in our souls as we grow old and wise. This is why we're on this journey. 'Cause we're seen as the others, not brothers and sisters. They got us playing Twister, just waiting for us to topple down, always trying to keep us underground. But we keep rising and standing for our rights, our rights, our rights. We already have. So let's do what we do with love and poetry, poetry, poetry. Every day we can be the change we need. 'Cause we are everyday people, creative, smart, and strong people, poetic people fighting racism. We are poetic people fighting racism. That's you, that's me. We are poetic people fighting racism. 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 We are. Yeah, we are. All of us right here. We are poetic people fighting racism. So, welcome, 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 welcome. There's a whole bunch of welcomes because why is there a whole bunch of welcomes? Because I'm back. I'm back. So hello, everybody. Hello there. Again, I am Anthony Cordova, the man about love, because I like to spread some love everywhere I go. So I'm not about hate at all. Wow. Let me calm down. I think Jill has something to say. I thought you were just waving hi to me.
Yeah, that's what your producer
Oh,
does.
wait a second. I don't have your mic on. Okay, let's go again, Jill.
I said, sure, that's what a producer does during a
Yeah,
show.
just
It's
wave
just
to me. Just
waves.
like, hey, what's up? How you
Just
doing?
waves. Yay.
I thought you were telling me welcome to the show.
Yeah. Welcome. Well, I wanted to welcome people that we already have in our audience.
We do? This is cool.
We do. I wanted to welcome John Boltman. I used to work with John. Hey, John.
Hey, John,
Welcome
what's
to the
up?
show. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
And I
yes.
wanted to welcome Charlie.
Hey, really, Charlie, I can always count on really Charlie to show up and be real. So thank you so much. And really, Charlie is with the Really Charlie podcast. And make sure you check him out on Facebook. He's got a lot of interesting stuff. So check him out. What else?
And John
What
says, hey, people.
else? Hey. Okay, well, let me calm myself down. As some of you know, this is the first show after about 4 to 5 months that I was away. I wasn't really away, but we moved to another platform, and we were getting our shows back together and all of that kind of stuff. So we took our time so we would have it right. With a little bit of a new look and all the other little things we can do that we could not do before on the other platform. So, this show, what is this show about? Poetic people fighting racism. I mean, for real, what in the world is this about? Well, it's really about I'm a poet and I write spoken word poetry, free verse stuff, prose poetry, But I wrote a manuscript called Living and Dying. And Living and Dying covers slavery and racism and the caste system in the United States, kind of from the beginning of slavery to present day. Um, in my manuscript, I didn't get in too much depth about the Civil War because that's a rabbit hole and that could create a whole book in itself. But that's what I did. Now I use this show to read poems from my manuscript, and then we can discuss the poem. So I really love involvement from the audience. So typically, what I do is read a poem, and then I'll go through the key parts of the poem or explain some things or references that may need some explaining. Maybe the reference isn't self explanatory. One is the blue and white eyes. So that is one. And I'm not going to tell you what that is right now because what I'm going to read tonight is going to explain that. Now, I'm going to do something a little different tonight because it is the first show of the relaunch. So I haven't done this before, but I'm going to read several poems in consecutive order. And that's the way I wrote the manuscript. So one poem just runs into the other and runs into the other. And all the poems throughout the whole book go that way. So in the previous seasons, I would just choose different poems, okay? But tonight, I'm going to read several poems from the beginning and go consecutive from it. And then I'll go back after I've read them and touch on certain topics. Now, the show should last about 30 minutes, but the more comments we get and participation from the audience, the longer the show will go. Now, the show will not go like 24 hours. So the max is about an hour. And you have the opportunity to be on camera also, if that's what you wish. And the way to do that, there'll be a button there. If you're, sorry, you need to watch from the website. So from knowtobestill.com/podcast, find the show. And it's pretty easy. You just find the show. You'll see a button that says details. You hit that button and then just kind of follow the prompts to be on the show. And if you didn't want to be on camera, it'll ask you to be on camera, but to give access to your camera, yes, Jill.
We also have the link on Facebook if they want to
Oh,
go there
yes,
instead.
yes. I forgot we put that
it's
there.
right there. They don't have to do all of that you just said if they're watching from Facebook.
Yes.
It's right there. Also, Charlie says when you were talking about doing your poems back to back to back,
Mm-hmm.
he said, great idea. You can create an audiobook in the works. It's an
Ooh,
audiobook
ooh,
in the
ooh,
works.
ooh. I didn't think of that. That's a good idea, Charlie. That's a really good idea. Ooh. Wow. Cool, cool, cool. Wow. I think I've talked enough. Actually, I've talked 5 minutes further than I than I had planned to. So this might be a 35-minute show tonight. I got buttons over here. I got stuff here, and I got stuff over there. I got stuff up there, and I got stuff all over. I got stuff in front of me. I got a bunch of stuff here. So, Jill, I think it's time to get into the poems. If there's not another question.
No question, but I would like to welcome my cousin, Deborah Cobb. to the
Hello,
audience. Hey,
Deborah
cuz.
Cobb. Hello, how are you? And welcome. I'm so happy you came to the show. I know you probably don't know a whole lot about me, Deborah, but you're gonna find out some tonight. Okay, Jill. Yes.
And John said, no thanks about being, coming to camera. Says, I'd rather not. I made a whole career out of staying away from the front of a camera. And John
He
isn't,
sounds like a
he's,
producer, right?
he, he's excellent in the TV news industry. He was
All right.
wonderful, wonderful to work with.
Maybe we can get him here to punch this
He's got
show.
skills.
Yeah, we get him here to punch this show.
Are you saying I'm not doing a good job? What's
No,
up? What's up with that?
I can get two producers for the price of one,
He didn't.
which
I
is
didn't
free.
say he was a
Oh,
producer.
what does he do?
Oh, anyway.
Doesn't matter. It's in news. He could get me good clips for free, right? That's what I need. I need free clips, free news clips.
I'm gonna let you get on with your.
That's what I
with your
need.
poem.
Free news clips. That's what I need. That's absolutely what I need. Okay. So let me move some papers here. I'm pushing papers, ruffling papers around. Okay. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna play a little music if I know what button to press. And we will be good. So, Jill, if you would be able do a kind thing and switch my camera angle, I will be ready to start. And 1, 2, camera 1. I'm on camera 2. I want camera 1. Yes, thank you very much.
That is not what you said. You're on camera too. Do you want camera 1?
I am. Oh, you are correct. That's my bad. Switch me to camera.
John, you're right about the producer war stories. This is where it starts.
The one that says angle 1, unless
That's
they're
where you
listed
were.
backwards.
That's where you were.
Oh, it wasn't showing up on mine. Okay, now it's showing up. Wasn't showing up a minute ago. That was a technical issue there on my part.
I'm nodding my head. Yes, it was.
But it's okay. This is the first show of the relaunch. There's gonna be some little issues. I gotta get into the flow of the show. You know what I mean? The flow of the show. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's play some music here. And that is not the music. See, everything is messing up. But here should be the music. There we go. That is not the music. That's the intro music. I love it so much, I played it again. So, hey, everybody, thanks for being here in the first show where I'm pushing all the wrong buttons. All right, here we go. The blue and white eyes are some of the people with white skin, the people that believe their European blood is pure, blue blood, running through their veins better and supreme than anyone with color in their skin. They believe the darker a person's skin, the more they become less than seen through white eyes, seen through the haze of privileged minds, seen through the white gaze of white eyes. They have been destroying lives of black people since the first time they laid eyes on black lives living in the first land, the absolutely magnificent motherland. The blue and white eyes built the most powerful and wealthiest country in the world by enslaving black people, by killing and stealing land from indigenous people. They are still taking lives, still in power, still controlling lives over 400 years later by controlling a nation by oppressing minority people, mostly oppressing America's black people. The blue and white eyes are the people that hold the wealth and the power of government and business in cities and towns and counties, and especially in the U.S. federal government. They have the power to oppress black lives in a country built on lies. In the United States of America, they are still destroying more black lives and killing more black lives than any other minority group living in America. Black lives in America are just living than just dying from the blue and white eyes' oppression and lies. Through the view of the blue and white eyes, black lives in America count for nothing. Count for less than nothing. It's been that way for a long time, for over 400 years. Such a long time. Less than. Long before the creation of the United States of America, before we knew the blue and white eyes would sin against us, before they chained and shackled our majestic African ancestors, before they beat and whipped them into the belly of ships, before our ancestors' birth and our grandparents' birth and our parents' birth, before mine and your birth, we had already been branded. We had already been marked and targeted as less than. Less than for the melanin in our skin, less than for the darkness of our skin, less than because we appeared to be different than them, because of the color of our skin, less than. Using less than as a false premise, the blue and white eyes told themselves it was their God-given right to enslave us. They told themselves it was their God-given right to forcibly remove us from our homeland in floating prisons of death and disease, from western shores to eastern shores, to sea to shining sea. They told themselves it was their right to sell us and trade us. They told themselves it was their right to chain us, to whip us, to work us, to damn near dead, to hang us and blame us, to maim us and brand us, to hunt us and rape us and burn us, and treat us like mules and fools that had no soul or heart or brain. They told themselves it was their God-given right to commit these atrocities against humanity. They still don't see the insanity in their reality in crimes against humanity. God-given rights in the minds of the blue and white eyes tell themselves lies about who would live and who would die, living and dying. 246 years living and dying. 246 years of living and dying, praying to be free in heavenly graves, living and dying, 246 years of sadistic minds and nighttime crimes filled with fears of days and night, with fear of death by candlelight. Learning to read and learning to write. Praying to be free of endless days in the maze of being a God-loving slave with no way out, of living and dying, a tortured life. Praying to be free in heavenly graves, living and dying, while being an American slave. 246 years. We should sue under the rules of international law for crimes against humanity. 246 years of Hitler-like insanity. Living and dying. Some of the blue and white eyes wish they could exterminate us all. We are black, we are colored, we are Negro, we are African and American. Us all. We are the ones that don't look like them. We are the ones that don't sound like them. Us all of us are not them. If the blue and white eyes could have their way and somehow convince the world to turn their heads and look away, the way the world did for 246 years of us living and dying, they would probably kill us all. Or make blacks slaves again so they could make America great again. 246 years living and dying, 246 years. They lie. Can't stop the endless years of tears. It's been 154 years living and dying. It's been 154 years. The hours keep on ticking. The sun keeps rising and falling. The years keep coming and going while we keep living and dying. It's been 154 years. It's been 154 years or so since the powers to be set our people free, or so. It's been 154 years. We're supposed to be free since 1865, an illusion created by the blue and white eyes telling us to believe the lies while we lived and died. Some of us believed the lies and lived and died. The lies of the wicked blue and white eyes. The lies about reparations for being enslaved. The lies about living on our own land as freed slaves. The lies about a good strong mule and working 40 acres of land. They lied. They lied. Telling us the 40 acres of land would be ours for life and generations to come, giving us and our children and our children's children a first step, a fresh start, a new life, a path to prosperity, wealth, and true freedom as black men, women, and children, equal to everyone we see. But they lied. The blue and white eyes lied back then as they do today. Some of our ancestors did get some land, but in 1 year's time they took it all back. Took back the mule and the 40 acres of land back out of black hands, back into white hands, back then as they do today, leaving us with nothing and nowhere to go, forcing us to go back to the only place we know, back to the place we were born, bought and sold. Back to plantations working to the bone, back to sadistic minds and nighttime crimes, back to old drafty shacks and bitter cold nights, back to steamy hot days and endless sweaty nights, back to where our old master is our new boss, back where our new boss is our old master. Not much different than before. Not much different than today. And it's been 154 years or so since the powers to be set our people free or so. It's been 154 years or so, and it's not much different than before. It's not much different than today. They see us as less than for the melanin in our skin. Less than because we appear to be different than them. Less than remembering our ancestors were their slaves. They pay us less and see us as less. Less than them. Less than the people that look like them, the people with white skin. They have privilege stamped in their minds and written in their skin. They pay us less and lie to us every day. It's written in our skin. They say today there is no racism, just a thing of the past. They say systemic racism and privilege for white skin is all in our heads. They say, forget the past, live in the present, look ahead to your future. But our future's under ceilings of glass made from blue in our white eyes. We try every day to break through ceilings and bust down doors, but we're shackled to floors, can't reach locked doors or rise through ceilings. When we're dealing and feeling and living and dying and crying and living and dying from a system feeding on us and feeds itself with buckets of pandemic, systemic racism, true red, white, and blue, eating us from inside to out, parasites draining black souls dry while we try to survive a system infected with systemic racism, where systemic racism hides their elaborate system, where blue and white eyes control our lives, where we live and die, locked out and locked in, living and dying in a system controlled by them. And that's it for tonight. All the poems, Jill.
That was great. First of all, I have two
thank
things
you
to
very
tell
much. Yes.
you. Isaac says, "What's up?"
What's up, Isaac? It's good to have you in the audience.
And
Cool.
you have Denise in the guest room.
Denise is in the guest room? Woohoo! Okay, Denise. And so she's just going to be audio, I guess, right?
I think so.
Okay. So if you would unmute her mic, I think, Jill, we can get her up and then hit number 3. And then once you've hit number 3, and this is our first show for this one, so we're going through some things, and then you have to bring number 3 up into preview and then bring it over. So yes, hit live. Okay, but we should hear Denise now. Denise, are you there?
It was a mistake that I was here.
Oh, we have a technical issue, and I know what it is. So please bear with us just a moment. And Jill, can you give us a graphic, and I will come and fix that.
Wait, what?
Okay. We still are having a technical issue.
Are you?
I just heard her. She's there.
Yeah, I can see my mic.
Oh,
she is
going
there.
green.
Oh, okay. I'm
You're
sorry.
the
I
one
gotta
not
plug
plugged
my
in.
mic back in.
She's there.
Sorry, people. I can't hear her, but everyone else can. Okay, how about now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, good. I'm happy you're here. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
that little black space you see, that's you over there.
Yeah, well, I'm trying not. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be anywhere but listening.
Okay. Well, it's good to have you here.
Yes, and
Well,
it was very good. I enjoyed your poem.
well,
I did.
thank you very much.
Yes.
And just so everyone knows, for full disclosure, Denise is my big sister.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
So
So
thank
yeah,
you.
kind of, connect, but I don't know why I got in because right now on my screen it says production preview. And I was just trying to listen to you. So I had turned off my mic and camera. Wait, what?
Sorry.
But I did enjoy your first show.
Well,
Or your
thank
yes.
you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that I'm doing the show again. This is one of
Hmm.
these things that I am supposed to do. So I will do this no matter what. If I'm not making 1 red cent, it's okay because this is something
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do. It's my part of being a everyday activist. So we
Yes.
all can do something.
Yes.
So that's
So
cool.
thank you.
So thank you. Did you have any other comments or anything to say about any particular part of the several poems that I read this evening?
No, I've already
No.
said too much. More than I planned to say at all. So no, I'm good. But I enjoyed it. I really
Uh,
did enjoy it.
okay, cool. So would you like Jill to take you off the stage?
Oh yes, I would appreciate it.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming up, and it also helped people see that they can come and talk. So
Yeah.
um, thank you for that.
Oh, yes. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Denise.
Okay.
All right. See you later. Thanks for coming up. Love you.
Love you
All
too.
right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, there I am. Ooh, we're back. Oh, isn't that cool? That was cool. So, yes, everyone in the audience, if you want to talk, we are, I know I said 30 minutes. But Jill, did you?
Charlie said bravo after your poem.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Charlie, and I know Charlie has heard some of those poems before. I did it a little bit different than I usually do, but it's okay. A poem doesn't have to be read exactly with the same cadence and rhythm every time you do it. And sometimes I switch up, which is cool to me. All right, let me see. What? And look, I'm doing like a old time newsman. So let me see. I was going to go over some of this, Jill. This is what I'm getting. No. This is what I'm getting. I'm getting this from my
That means
producer.
wrap
I'm
or
getting
wrap it up.
this. I'm getting this from my producer, but I control
But if
the
people have
outro. Let me see.
questions, they can ask.
Yes, I would love for someone to ask a question. Um, specifically about my reference to the blue and white eyes. Um, because I know the blue and white eyes is a specific group of people. So it's not all white people, but a specific group of people that have white skin. That's who I am referring to. So I'm I'm all about love. Yes, Jill.
John says, what's your time allotment here? Is this open ended?
No, it is not. I will usually do most shows. I'm going to do one poem and then discuss that poem and open it up to the audience for discussion, and we can have that discussion. However, if we have a lot of questions, a lot of comments, and people have things that they would like to comment on, the show can go as long as 1 hour, and then we'll start closing that out. So
Ooh, you scared me there. I thought you were going to say the show can go as long as.
forever,
Yes,
yes.
scared
No,
me.
no, not like another platform that where people can go on for hours and hours. No, this is probably a maximum of 1 hour, which is all I'll do. And Poetic People Fighting Racism will air every other week. So the next week for this show is what, Jill? I have it written down somewhere. The next episode for this show is going to be
April
on
6th.
April 6th. Oh, I had the right date down anyway. April 6th, and then after that, it would be April 20th. So
And
That's
Denise
how I
said
do mine.
she enjoyed this version of your poem. And John said, is that self imposed or Facebook? I will take that question as far as the time. John, that is me being a producer. Like shows have end times. So it's not, it's Jill imposed.
That is Jill, the producer. In the previous seasons, we have probably gone as long as 1 hour and 45 minutes. I think the longest show that we ever had on Poetic People Fighting Racism might have been 1 hour and 45 minutes. We had one that was
Are you
really
talking about the
long.
slam? That was,
No, no,
oh.
no, no. We had it. I think one show that was about 1 hour and 45 minutes. I can't remember which one it was, but Jill wasn't happy about it. And then most of the time we went 45 minutes to an hour. So, but the reason the reason I kind of want to, if a half an hour isn't long enough to have these discussions, I will definitely go an hour, okay, without a doubt, because these are the conversations all of us need to have, and it doesn't matter what color you are, what nationality you are. This is a safe place. So even if someone that is says they're a racist and that they hate everybody else that's not like them, I am more than willing to have a conversation with them, a safe conversation, and I am not going to get angry. The other thing I didn't touch on is this show is not only for poets. If you want to be on the show and you are a poet, that's great. Just come to the show and tell us about yourself. And chances are we may let you do a poem right then and there if that's what you'd like. But we don't only want poets. We want musicians. We want singers. We want artists, painters, sculptures, people that sculpt, anyone that does something creative. And along with that, we want all of you to come. Because whatever we can do as just everyday people to get this conversation started, to begin to understand each other, because if we never talk to each other and we all stay in our own little pockets, we won't learn about each other. So this is what I'm trying to encourage with this show. So we all can really learn about each other and begin to have some love for each other. Because to hate someone because they come from Mexico is insane. To hate someone because they come from China is insane. To hate someone because they were enslaved, their ancestors were enslaved in this country, again, is just ludicrous to hate someone for these types of reasons. So learning to talk to each other, and when you come to this show, I count it as you being an everyday activist. This is something you're doing because you don't have to come here on a Saturday night. I hear a hum. There, hum has stopped. Avoided that. What's going on? I hear stuff playing all over the place, but I think we're still going out, I believe. Yes. So, yeah. So this is something that all of us can do. And I want to laugh here. I laughed at myself all night long every time I pushed the wrong button. I want to laugh here. I want us to have fun. This mic is acting up. I want us to have fun. I want us to laugh. I'd like us all to get together and have a party. Which would be really, really, really cool. So, yes, Jill.
And back to the length when you were talking about going in and out nearly 2 hours. John says that was on the old format.
Yes, that was on the old format where I just kind of wanted to go as long as people wanted to talk. But if you don't know, we have 3 different shows here on this platform. We have 3 shows. 2 of the shows are every week. This one is every other week for the content. So it just gets to be a lot. And we both have regular jobs. So it gets to be a lot of hours and all of that. And this particular show, it's a heavy show. It takes a lot out of me to actually read my own work because of the subject matter that I write about. So every other week is good, and an endless show would not be good for me. And not Jill either.
And John, you're okay. He actually on the previous question, he says on the old fireside format, but I realized I didn't say fireside. So now he's saying
Okay.
sorry, I will not mention fireside again. It's fine, John.
Yes, you can mention them. It's okay because look, here we are. And I bet you everything looks even better than it did than when we were there. So we're able to do many, 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 many more things, like bringing up my super. It's Anthony Cordova, host and poet. Those are things we couldn't do on the other platform that starts with a F.
And Charlie said, "How's the new job going?"
Actually, I'm surprised. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. I'm not complaining, and I'm not ready to quit. So that's good. That's a good thing. And the money's good. Money's really good. So all of that is good. And thanks for asking, Charlie. And I actually hope that you worked out all of those issues with your job and situation there, which would be cool. Okay. So
John has a Richard Nixon quote. Shall I read it?
yes. Yes.
You start pulling that scab, you uncover a lot of puss.
Pus. I can see some of these comments. Okay. It's a little, yeah. But you know what, John, I'm glad you brought that quote up, because that's the truth, and that's what we need to do. We do need to pull that scab off and see what's underneath. And then once we see what's underneath, if it's something that's causing infection, we need to treat that. So with this show, I hope that we can treat that and really kind of come together and to heal that wound, which is this country. I may be, let me see. Look, I know that I'm not going to change the country. I know that I'm not going to change the world. But if we, all of us, can make a little bit of a difference, and mostly to understand each other and begin to have some love for each other and be able to show some empathy and some compassion for each other, and not just dislike someone on face value, and not decide who that person is automatically just by their skin color or their nationality. For us to do that, we're doing ourselves an injustice, because you don't know who your next friend is. You don't know who's right around the corner that can change your life. Someone can tell you any kind of thing, or a way to think that maybe you never thought of before. Maybe to see a situation from someone else's viewpoint, which is a wonderful thing. There's another thing I do that I've been doing for decades. I ask people questions that I think I already know the answer to. And probably 3 times out of 10 or 2 times out of 10, they give me an answer I didn't think I was going to get. And that answer would just completely change the way I looked at certain situations, because it helps me see a situation through their eyes, not just mine. Because I'm not perfect, and neither are you. How about that? Okay. Well, as you all can see, I'm way past 9:30. But with that, I want to thank everyone, really everyone, for coming. Really, this was a great first show for me. It was a great first show for me. So, and mostly because all of you are here. Let's see. So, as you see there, there's a show, Poetic People Fighting Racism. So all the information is right there. Poetic People. I forgot we should change that. See, I'm making mistakes all night long. But that's the information, where to go, and that's every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Now, also, we have a couple of other shows. Yes, Jill?
I brought you back on camera.
Yes.
Because John has written something that I think you should respond to.
Okay, I will be happy to. And you see how I just stopped closing out the show?
And I interrupted you.
Yes, and Jill did.
Me.
So that's incredible.
Yep. That doesn't happen very often. Okay, he says, we can't undo the past. You and I were not around when slavery was a thing in this country. What we can do is preserve the telling of our history. You want to be an activist? How about we start getting these... All right, can you see it?
Yes.
I think you should say this line instead of me. Considering where I work.
Why?
Keep going.
Oh, I see what you mean. How about we start getting these zealots out of our libraries? Woohoo!
Yay! I work for the Library Journal, so that's why I had
You
him
weren't
to
supposed to say that, Jill.
Where I work?
Yes.
Bring it.
That is an outrage. But just where Jill... the place Jill works at, I'm not going to say it, but they don't try to get books out of libraries. They try to keep books in libraries. So we 100% agree with you on that, John. And I am so glad you brought that up, because that puts it on us. Okay? Just the everyday people. So if they take books out of the library that maybe your kids would want to read, or you may want your kid to read that book, go buy the book. Go buy the book. And if for some reason you cannot afford to buy the book, you can get online and ask someone if they have the book and whether you can get it. And you can get them on audiobooks, which is easy. I just thought of something else. You can, well, that's a problem. I wonder if they take the audiobooks out too.
Don't give them ideas. He says they're starting to in Florida and now Texas in terms of, books. But yes, I work with librarians every day, John. So that's why I wanted Tony to say that instead of me. And you're right. It's a shame that librarians have to, are getting death threats and crazy things like that. So it's a huge problem. But we, as everyday activists, can do something about it.
Thank you for that, Jill. Thank you. That was very good. That was very good. And that's the truth. We can do something about it. So, there's some things within the government we have a really hard time changing. But it's when they do something, we have a responsibility to do something else. And literally, we're talking about spending $20. $20 or so to get that book in the hand of someone that needs it. Because many of the books that they are banning are books that are really needed. And
the banners haven't read them.
LGBTQ.
They don't even know what's in it.
They haven't read them. But if you have a child that needs to read any type of LGBTQ book and they don't have it, that's horrible. To be a child and walking around lost, not sure where you fit or how to fit. And everybody, not everybody, but if in certain communities, you're stigmatized. And it's an awful thing to do to a child. Awful thing to do to a child.
Especially since, children, whether parents understand this or not, children want to know that they're not alone, that there are other people like them, and books can do that for them. But it can also be an escape from what's going on in their own household. It can be an escape.
This is absolutely correct, Jill. You are so wise. So all of you know, Jill is one of the smartest women I know. I said smart, one of the smartest women
thank you.
I know. That's what I said. One of the smartest
I'll
women
take that.
I know. I know a lot of smart women. And they all keep me on my toes. That's the thing. They all keep me on my toes because I actually don't know everything. Isn't that something? I don't know everything. I know a lot of stuff, but I don't know everything. Okay. All right. Now, are we going to close out the show now? Or we got
I think you should thank everybody who was here because they commented. It wasn't that they were just here. They participated.
Yes, especially, well, I don't have all the names anymore.
You have John, you have Isaac, you have Charlie, you have Deborah, you have Denise.
I thank all of you. I really do. Because it keeps the show moving. And not only that, it makes the show better. Now, for those of you that don't know, yes, Jill?
I want to thank John for his last comment.
Oh, Jill's smart. I could see that. Of that, I have no doubt. See, John's with me. Jill is very smart. She keeps me on my toes, for sure. Yes, you do, Jill. That's what you do. You keep me on my toes. But yeah. So, John, this is kind of how it works. Uh, we're trying for a 30-minute show. It's ending up being an hour, which is cool with me. So I'm going to start closing out the show again. This is take 2 of show closeout. How about that? If the music plays. There we go. All right. So this is like deja vu, isn't it? Deja vu. So make sure you check out the website, knowtobestill.com/poetic people. And you can watch the show from there if you wish the next time, if you don't want to be on Facebook. But you can also just comment there also. There is a comment section on the website, so you can comment there also. For those of you that don't know, I also have another show, which is The Soul Reader with me, Anthony Cordova, and you can get a free psychic empathic reading. And I'm mostly an empath. I'm more of an empath than a psychic. That's how I read people and connect to people on the other side, because I'm also a medium. And that's every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And just go to knowtobestill.com/podcast. So come on and check that out. And then our oldest show, our longest running show, I'm Right, with me and Jill Cox Cordova. There we are. That's every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And just go to Jill's website, jillcoxcordova.com, and click the podcast tab. And you can also watch any of these shows from Facebook or YouTube. Yes, you can. And let me see. I want to remind everybody to, 1, be an everyday activist. 2, be love, show love. The other thing I want you to do is something different. Just do something different, something maybe you haven't done before. Go to work a different way. Play a music genre that you never listened to before. Just do something different. The music that's playing now is called Stand Up Bass, and that is by Toby Bilski. And you can check him out on beatstar.com. So check that out. The next show is on April 6th at 9 p.m. And check this out. The title of that show, of that episode is, and the music's ending, is Black President, More Racism. So, again, we're getting ready to say goodbye. So, I got to bring up music again, because that's what I'm supposed to do, because I talk too long. Okay, but thank you all for watching. I love you all. Hope to see you next time. So, till then, bye.